home of the undefeated 2-0 Raiders, Las Vegas, Nevada. Live from the Link studio overlooking Caesars Palace. He's Tyler Foljam. I'm Joe Fortenbaugh. This is Bet. We've got Thursday night football between the Dolphins and the Jaguars. We got a big Game 4 brewing in the Western Conference between the Lakers and the Nuggets. We also, my friend, have a very special bit we love to talk about at the end of this fine Thursday program. It's called the Parlay to Paradise. Spoiler, we did not win last week.
But you know what?
We weren't even close.
It just takes one. That's all it takes, Fortenbaugh, is one. And then bet's done. We're out of here. We're off to Fiji, baby.
Yeah, $50 1,000 times. We can miss them all, but we just need that one to break even. So we got a lot in store for you on today's show. We begin with the big showdown on Monday Night Football.
Oh.
It's the Ravens. It's the Chiefs. Baltimore laying 3.5 points as Patrick Mahomes and the defending champions are coming to town. The total in this one is a big one, 54. It's on ESPN at 8:15 p.m. Eastern. But before we get to the game breakdown and maybe some early look ahead, Patrick Mahomes and ketchup. It is a recurring theme on this show. It is a recurring conversation happening behind the scenes. Seemingly, look at this guy. Look at this guy. I don't think that's real. I don't think he took that to the grave.
Over,
but he looks fantastic.
I have an off the cuff, over under 50 cents. The amount of money Mahomes will pay for ketchup the rest of his life.
Under.
Yeah.
Under. How he doesn't have a deal yet is beyond me. But with that being said, he's going to Baltimore. It's one of the great underrated food towns in this country.
Pit beef.
We know about Chicago. We know about Los Angeles. We know about San Francisco. We know about New York. But we don't talk about Baltimore nearly enough. Patrick Mahomes taking his gigantic fake bottles of ketchup all the way east to Baltimore. Do you see him putting ketchup on crab cakes?
Yes, I do. I think crab cakes he'll definitely
Gross.
put ketchup on. Catsup or ketchup, whichever you prefer. I will say this. Generally, this is going to get culinary on you now. Generally, a sauce that you would maybe dip or put on top of crab cakes is a remoulade sauce. And remoulade...
what now?
Remoulade. Remoulade. It's
Starting
French,
with an R?
R-E-M-O-U-L-A-D-E, remoulade sauce.
I'm not believing it.
And you can make remoulade sauce with ketchup as one of the ingredients that forms with mayonnaise and lemon juice and capers and mustard and other things to make remoulade sauce.
Have you made this?
I've made remoulade sauce.
Is it
absolutely.
good?
It's delicious. You kidding me?
I feel like this is a trick.
It's not. I'll make you some remoulade sauce. I'll bring some remoulade sauce.
Bring some remoulade sauce. Monday's show, I want remoulade sauce.
Monday show, you want remoulade sauce?
Nothing but remoulade sauce.
You bring the crab
No
cakes.
notes.
You bring the crab cakes in.
Crab cakes.
Okay, you do.
I'll find some crab cakes. All right, number 2. Would he put ketchup on oysters?
Yeah, I think he would. That's weird. I wouldn't. That's weird. But I think he will. Because, again, you can put, hot cocktail sauce, which is basically just lemon juice, ketchup, and not Worcestershire. Horseradish. Thank you, Biana, our director. Horseradish is what I was thinking.
That wasn't a pull on your own?
Horseradish, ketchup, and lemon juice makes that hot cocktail sauce that we like to dip seafood in. So I bet he's done it. I bet he would do it. Ketchup
Oysters
and
on the half shell, you can load those things up. I ate them I remember it was Mobile, Alabama. I was covering the Senior Bowl. It was like 10 years ago. We went out to this joint. Fantastic oysters on the half shell. I walked out going, man, I love oysters on the half shell.
good.
They were like loaded baked potatoes. You ever had potato skins?
Oh, yeah.
Cheese and everything on them. I couldn't even taste the oyster. Then when I went to New Orleans and tried oysters by themselves, disgusting.
Well, yeah, you
Squishy
ate
in the mouth.
cheese.
Yeah.
You ate melted cheese and garlic butter on top of it. So that's never going to be bad.
Speaking of cheese, do you put ketchup, if you're Patrick Mahomes, on mac and cheese?
Oh, I think he's already said that, right?
Yeah, that's just an obvious one.
I mean, he's been doing that since he was 4. I mean,
He
my
puts
niece
mac and cheese on
ketchup. Correct.
Yeah, that's probably what
he
does.
gets the bowl, a nice base level of red tomato concentrate with sugar,
So
and then
gross. Such a gross
throws the
outfit.
box mac and cheese on top.
Ketchup on popcorn. Final one for you.
Again, we've discussed this before, but I want to talk to a psychiatrist. What is the thinking behind this? Dip your hand
reach your hand
into a bowl of popcorn with ketchup all over it. It's already bad enough at the movie theater when you got that butter grease that gets on you. You set the popcorn bag on your jeans, and then your jeans get an oil slick on them, like you're on Highway 915 or something.
Like you're on a romantic comedy with the girlfriend or the missus, and you're just eating this popcorn with ketchup on it. Honey, you got a napkin?
Would you have married the lovely Mrs. Fortenbaugh Ball,
No,
if you sat
don't
down your
finish that
first date
sentence.
and she just like gets out a thing of ketchup and is like, "Hey, Joe, you want to split this popcorn with me?" Like, who the hell
No,
are you?
I'd still be single, and I would be enjoying myself very much in this town. Not to say I'm not enjoying myself in this town, being married, but that's a story for another day.
Someone who puts ketchup on their popcorn and eats it out of a bowl. At Tyler_Fulgham. I need to know who you are and what drives you. What's the psychology behind
I
that?
will throw something at the great people of Baltimore. I know they want to win this game,
Mm-hmm.
but Maryland very much known for Old Bay seasoning,
Now
which I'm
that's
sure you're a fan of.
classic. Absolutely.
Maybe get Patrick Mahomes involved
See,
in
that's
some
better.
Old Bay seasoning. Look at that
That's
right
better.
there. See, that's what I'm talking about. That you can put on popcorn.
That you can put on
just
popcorn.
about anything.
You can put
my
on
friend.
mussels.
Anything.
You can put on oysters. You can put on mac and cheese.
Put it on your
Fantastic.
shoulders if you had a rough day at work.
Kidding me?
Put it on your shoulders.
Stuff's
All right.
fantastic.
Let's actually talk about the game.
Oh, do we have to?
A little bit, yeah.
Okay.
It's not all ketchup and popcorn here on this fine program. These two are
enjoying
going to play
that.
Monday night. Line moving towards the Ravens. More on that in a bit. I'm curious. If you switch the quarterbacks, Mahomes playing in Baltimore, Lamar Jackson playing in Kansas City, how much different are the results from what we've seen so far?
I love these hypotheticals because I love doing that, and it's a way
you can't possibly be
you
wrong.
You can't possibly be wrong, but I always think I'm right. Never wrong when it comes to these. Mahomes and Jackson are two of the most gifted quarterbacks this league has ever seen, so I don't think there would be much difference if Mahomes was Baltimore's quarterback and Jackson was the Chiefs. I still think the Chiefs would be a Super Bowl contender. He might have an MVP. Maybe Mahomes has one. But the point of the matter is for this, basically. With Jackson specifically, Mahomes is a more natural quarterback in terms of style. Jackson has a very unique style. If you want to leverage his strengths to its fullest, you got to have someone like John Harbaugh. You got to have someone like Greg Roman who's willing to build an offense around his strengths, minimize his weakness. I think Baltimore's done that as well as you possibly can. Obviously, Andy Reid's done that as well as you possibly can with someone like Patrick Mahomes. But I think there would be almost an indistinguishable amount of difference between these two and their individual numbers. And I think either team would be just as good, if not better, if you switch them. How do you feel?
The longest time we watched these quarterbacks come out of the Big 12 and they couldn't produce in the NFL. And everyone said the Big 12, they have these terrible quarterbacks, right? It's because the coaches were taking the quarterbacks, the square peg, and trying to force them into a round hole.
course.
It's what the Titans did with Marcus Mariota. They tried to line him up under center. Build the offense, like you said, around the quarterback. And Greg Roman was with Jim Harbaugh, John's brother. I don't know if you knew that.
And
no one's ever said that before.
Who was their quarterback when they were going
Colin
to...
Kaepernick, and who was the offensive coordinator? Greg Roman. So you see that. I see if you switch them, I wonder if Andy Reid still wins the Super Bowl with Lamar Jackson. I do.
Well,
Not to knock Jackson,
right,
but it's
no.
just Jackson's. He's lost both playoff games, one and done.
I think that's such an important part about what has made Jackson so good is that Roman has built that offense around him. I am going to
come back against
assume
Tennessee, though.
That's fair. I'm going to assume competent coaching amongst Andy Reid because I have a lot of respect for him. That he would have designed an offense that would play to Lamar's strengths. He would not put Lamar Jackson in the offense he runs with Patrick Mahomes. Okay, it'd be different. I think Tyreek Hill, instead of running 70 yards downfield and catching a bomb, a lot more jet motion. And having Tyreek Hill and Lamar Jackson in the backfield going opposite directions and trying to figure out where the ball is.
Watkins and
it's gonna be hard. So,
and Clyde Edwards-Helaire.
With these two specific organizations and these two specific coaching staffs, I think there's minimal difference if you switch the two. They're both that great, and both cultures and both brain trusts are smart enough to try and minimize weaknesses, maximize strengths, and not fit square pegs into round.
I like the hand movements too. When you're talking about minimizing, you're pointing down, maximize, you come up. If I had just landed here on Earth, which I have not, but had I'd be thinking minimize means small, means low. Maximize means raise up. Thank you very much. For those who are just looking at us on mute, you probably understand everything we're talking about right now because the hand
I'm
gestures.
a hand talker, you know. That's
very emphatic.
I like to bring these to the party, and I'm going to use them. So my favorite to win the Super Bowl this year is the Baltimore Ravens. Because Lamar Jackson, I think, is ready to take that step in the postseason against a team like Tennessee, I think they are going to be even better than they were last year. Through 2 weeks, that's what I've seen.
So if we see that this year, we're going to start to hear the comparisons of the AFC now moving from Tom Brady, Peyton Manning to Patrick Mahomes.
Isn't it already there?
It feels like it. You got to meet in the playoffs. Those two met in the playoffs.
Right.
You had to go through one another, and then there would always be like the random Flacco appearance, the random Roethlisberger appearance, but you got to go through each other. We were robbed of that last year.
Yeah.
Tennessee robbed us. I hate Tennessee because of that. Love Nashville, beautiful
My
town.
father's from
beautiful
Tennessee.
people.
You back up, son.
I'm sure he's a great individual as well, but I cannot root for the Titans because
I
of the privacy of that last year.
I understand. That's
All right,
fair.
the game itself. We're going to have a show on Monday, so we'll be making our final official picks there. But at 3.5, Ravens are laying the points. Total sitting around 54. Which direction would you be going right now?
Obviously, over is what I feel like is the American move here. Yeah. Who's going to bet under when Mahomes and Jackson are sharing the same field on a Monday night, no less? So, yeah, I'm going over. And right now, like I said, I'll wait and see how things happen this week, and who knows if an injury pops up in practice. But I think the Ravens are the best team in the NFL, better than the defending Super Bowl champion Kansas City Chiefs. And it feels dirty and slimy and disrespectful to say I'm not even going to, as a 3.5 point over that threshold of 3, I'm not even going to go ahead and take that with Patrick Mahomes. No, I'm going to take 3.5 at home, even without fans, Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens.
It's the regular season, which means you can give the Ravens a lot more respect, because where they fail to get it done is the postseason.
Man.
This is not the postseason. I wonder how much people watching the Chiefs stumble, in the words of the Chiefs, to get to the point of overtime and then win that game. I wonder how many people it's fresh in their mind and they think, I don't want to play the Chiefs this time around. I'm playing the over. I thought about this as soon as the number came out. I said, why is this not 60?
Right, exactly.
Why is this not 60?
100%.
They got together in week 3 last year. They put 61 points on the board. Now, you can't use that as evidence because it happened then. It's going to happen now. But are the Chiefs going to stop the Ravens at all on offense? I don't see it. And there's not going to be a point where you're going to be able to hold Mahomes down. You might keep him under 40. You might keep him under 30. You're not going to keep him under 20. You're not going to keep him under 10.
Right.
I'm going with the American play, over 54.
Proud to be an American.
All right.
I bet the
opened
over now.
Pandora's box there. NBA game tonight.
Yeah.
Lakers, Nuggets. Lakers laying 6.5. We're going with the graphic 6. That's the update. Beautiful. The total sitting around 215. We got ourselves a series. A lot of people saying if Anthony Davis doesn't hit that 3, it's 2-1 Nuggets. Too bad. A good player made a big shot. It happens in the sport of basketball. James and Davis, though, have taken a ton of heat. Charles Barkley was crushing James. The guy had a triple-double.
Right.
What do you expect from him tonight?
A big bounce back, I should say,
Triple
from
B.
LeBron.
Big
bounce back from the big beast, LeBron James. Had our wonderful researchers here dig this up. Mackenzie, our boy, shout out Mackenzie.
Weren't going to do it yourself?
48 and 20. No, I was delegating. I'm delegating. Okay, 48 and 27. LeBron led teams in the postseason following a loss. That's straight up. 43 and 32. LeBron led teams in the postseason following a loss against the spread.
Profitable.
So that's been profitable, and this is the lowest the spread has been. Again,
I see the hand going down.
Using my hands.
I'm
the
thinking
lowest
low.
the spread has been in this series for the Lakers. And I think after the loss and after the embarrassing narrative that even though LeBron had a triple-double, he didn't play well. And Anthony Davis, he scored 27 points and had 2 rebounds in that game where he lost. I think both those guys come out and really kind of exert their will, kind of assert their will, just dominate, put their stamp on this game early and often, and I think they cover the 6. I feel comfortable with that given that trend I've found out about LeBron-led teams.
Jeremy Grant and Monty Morris combined for 40 points in game 3.
What were the chances of that happening?
40 points.
You want to go under 40 for game 3? You want to put the mortgage
on
that?
At 40, it's a 401k bet on the under there. You've got to get contributions from the bench. They're going to come from different spots no matter what, right? It's not going to be all Davis and James. They're going to need someone else. It can't be all Jokic and Murray. It's got to come from somewhere else.
Right.
In game 3, it was Morris and Grant having huge nights. Grant had never gone over 20 points in a playoff game in his life. Morris's career playoff high was 14, much like he had in this game. Do you expect anything close to this tonight?
No, I would be surprised if they get half of that. I mean,
20.
I think 20
I'll set the line at 20.5.
Yeah, 20.5, I'll go under.
Interesting.
I'm going to go under 20.5 for both. Now, specifically Morris and Jeremy Grant, but who's to say that Michael Porter Jr. doesn't get hot or Paul Millsap doesn't pick because they are a deep team. That is what has been the benefit of this Denver Nugget team. We know who the two-headed monster is at the front, but it could be Gary Harris, it could be Michael Porter Jr., it could be Jeremy Grant. I mean, they're going to need a third and or fourth option to step up and beat this Lakers team. They got it in Game 3. Will they get it in Game 4? I don't know. But I know this, they won't be getting 40 again, or even 30 from Morris and Grant specifically. That was an outlier performance for both of them. Luckily for the Nuggets, it coincided in the same exact game and got them a dub. And let's be honest, they barely got that dub. The Lakers, once they threw that zone defense at Denver, erased a 20-point deficit like that.
Like that.
And they missed 3 or 4 attempts on the other end to tie or take the lead once it got down to 2 or 3 points in the fourth quarter.
You give the Nuggets credit in those situations for holding off.
Yes,
A
agreed.
lesser team
Agreed.
collapses
Agreed.
in that spot. They held them off, but it's still an interesting point. Got to make a pick on tonight's game. Where are you going?
Lakers -6. Again,
-6.
I'm going to go back to that trend I saw with LeBron. 43-32 against the spread following a loss in his playoff career. 48-27 straight up. So definitely like the Lakers to win. Can they cover 6? I think so.
I'm going to be siding with you on this one.
Okay.
And I know we're going to have I got roulette chips today.
Ooh, look at
$1
you.
chips. I owe you one, by the way. Nice snack. I owe you one from last week. You had the Bengals. I had the Browns.
Yep.
Thank you so much, Cleveland, for just holding on and playing great defense at the end of that game. But that's a little bit we do here on the show. Anytime we're on opposing sides, roulette bet. Roulette bet. $1 chip. We go downstairs. You put it on any number you want. You treat yourself.
Yeah.
You treat yourself.
Hell
Now, we're
yeah.
going to go back to this. We might have another roulette bet for you later. I'm with you, though.
We're on
This
the
is not
same
a roulette
side
bet.
here with the Lakers.
I'm with you with the Lakers. We talked about Grant and Morris. Do not see that happening
Right.
again, obviously. But I want you to take a listen to this. Denver shot 55% from the floor in Game 3. Second best performance of 17 playoff games. They shot 38% from 3. It was their best performance in the series. 29 free throws, second most in 17 playoff games. So these being outliers, these being things you don't normally see occur.
Right.
Is it reasonable to think they will occur again? Probably not. Now, on the flip side, positive regression. The Lakers shot 23% from 3.
Yeah. They're not a
good.
great three-point shooting team, so that will happen,
Yeah.
but that is their floor.
terrible number.
That is their floor. If they're shooting normal, it'll be closer to 30, 35%. So I'm with you. I think there is a positive regression for the Lakers, a negative regression for the Nuggets in this game. That's why we see eye to eye here, my friend. And I would like to throw another prop out from this game that I love. In fact, it was my best bet on Daily Wager today.
I'm all ears.
Anthony Davis. 27.5 points is his player prop, according to Caesars' William Hill. And Davis's low mark in this 3-game series, again, low, is 27 points from Game 3. Games 1 and Game 2, he averaged 34 points on 22 field goal attempts, only had 17 field goal attempts in Game 3, scored 27 points. Again, the embarrassing 2-rebound effort. I think he's motivated. I think he comes out. I think LeBron looks to him to dominate because there is no matchup for Anthony Davis on the Denver Nuggets over 27.5 player prop for AD tonight.
You have a bonus bet for the people.
Okay.
I do not have a bonus bet for the people. I
my-
feel naked
I wasn't
out here
here-
without a
I
bonus
wasn't here
bet
yesterday
for
or
the
Monday,
people.
so I feel like I got to do some
Like a
extra
total
credit.
DJ, and I just want to shotgun some bet through the camera to everybody else out there, but I will restrain and refrain from doing such a thing. But we got Bix on Thursday Night Football. The Dolphins and the Jaguars. The battle for the state of Florida, although Tom Brady and the U and the Tampa Bay Rays might have something to say about that. This could be a half-decent game.
I agree.
This could be a
I
half-decent
think we're going to be
game.
entertained on Thursday night, Joseph.
I think so as well.
It's got the perfect ingredients, like capable and very Florida-looking quarterbacks in Gardner Minshew and Ryan Fitzpatrick with his beard, Minshew with his whole aura. Fitzpatrick's a pro.
Florida-looking quarterback.
Their facial hairs scream Florida to me. But Fitzpatrick's a pro. Minshew's got all that swag, and we have two defenses that are not very good.
Suspect, highly suspect.
So-
the facial hair, did you see these two fighting each other all week over this?
No, I didn't.
So in the media, like all week, Fitzpatrick and his beard were taking shots at Minshew and his mustache. Minshew's firing back that the mustache is better than the beard. This went on all week. Now, I'm sure you've seen Floyd Mayweather fights.
Yeah.
Ali and Frazier, you know about the trash talk that
Right.
Ali would dish out in the build-up
Sure.
to a fight. This isn't exactly that, but as a man with such fine facial hair
well,
yourself,
thank
which
you.
is very well kept.
Well, thank you.
Very well kept. You have to get excited about something like that.
I am
To hear
excited.
Two Florida-looking quarterbacks arguing over facial
Maybe
hair.
I'm sorry if that's disrespectful to Florida. I apologize, but the Florida man, Minshew has kind of that a little bit with his Fu Manchu, and then when he puts the bandana on and he has the hair back, and then of course Fitzpatrick, he's a Harvard-educated man.
Yes, he
but
is.
He looks like he crawled out of a swamp after wrestling a gator down in the Everglades.
Watch out for Carol Baskin if you're down there.
Exactly.
We got something for you.
Okay.
If you were Ryan Fitzpatrick and you had that beautiful piece of facial hair, not to say what you have now is not beautiful, but if you wanted to go a little bit longer, here's what you might have.
Oh, okay.
That's a Santa Claus I don't want my kids
Fitzy.
visiting.
Fitz, come here.
You look like a
Sit on my knee,
professor.
little Joey Jr.
It looks like I could go in here and talk to this guy about art history or perhaps Russian imperialism. That was such a thing.
If I could grow that, though, I would, just to see how scary I would be. But if you're going to do that to me, you're not getting off the hook here, brother. You're not getting off the hook here.
I don't do facial hair.
I know you don't do
Very
facial hair,
smooth.
but we do Photoshops here on
Photoshops?
Bet. So what would I think the Fortenbaugh shoe stash looks pretty gosh darn good.
He has the little piece underneath.
Yeah,
too,
exactly. That looks like something that looks real. Mine didn't look real. Yours looks real. Can you pick up the phone real quick?
I'm gonna get divorced.
No, take a picture of this, and I want you to, when we're in the show, text that picture of you real life and that right there to your wife, and ask Mrs. Fortenbaugh how she feels about that mustache.
She better not be watching this. She's seen the mustache. I've done Movember.
Okay.
I've done Movember, so it's like jet black. Jet black.
God, I really want to rip a Super Troopers line right now from that movie.
You don't want to get us in trouble.
I don't want to get us in trouble, though. You know what I'm talking about if you like Super Troopers out there.
Let's not meow. All right, what do you like tonight?
Jags -3. I'm a bigger believer in Minshew. He's been great. I do think this is going to be a higher scoring game. 49's a lot, but I think they can cover that. Both teams contributing with their quarterback play and suspect defense, but I like Minshew mania more than the pros pro.
Minshew
Ryan
mania.
Fitzmagic.
Okay, I like that. I will be taking the Miami Dolphins +3. I also like the idea of them winning this game outright.
So we have ourselves a roulette bet.
That's all right, because you don't actually get that.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm just saying we have the roulette bet.
I just wanted to see where you were at. Miami, on the look-ahead line, this was a pick-em. Both teams went out and lost. Both teams went out and covered. Now, all of a sudden, the Jaguars are a 3-point favorite. DJ Shark, the wide receiver, out for this game. Josh Lambo, the field goal kicker's out for this game. People, that is big.
Yeah,
I know we disrespect kickers at every turn. Lambo is like 33 of 34 last season. He's legit, and he has range. He had a 50-plus yarder in my face against the Colts in Week 1. So I think Fitzpatrick isn't going to feel the pressure like he did against Buffalo, and he still played very well. I'm going to go ahead and I will take the Dolphins.
We're on opposite sides of this, baby.
They win that one. Roulette bet number 2. I've got to get that money back so we can go play. Survivor. Survivor, the Eliminator Challenge. You knocked it out of the park.
I'm still living.
The Niners. What are we doing in Week 3?
I'm still living. I'm going to pick on the Jets yet again. I think that's a very.
So you like the Jets to win this week?
No. I'm picking on the Jets. They are, I think, 11-point dogs against Phillip Rivers, Jonathan Taylor, and the Indianapolis Colts.
Big one.
Biggest spread I believe we have on the Week 3 slate. So picking on the Jets. I haven't used the Colts yet. I will take Indy to win and keep my Survivor pool going.
Indy to win. Now, as you know, I am terrible at Survivor. I am terrible at Eliminator. Whatever anyone wants to call it, I'm awful at.
You used Indy in Week 1.
I did, and I lost.
And took the L with that.
I lost immediately, and like I said, Josh Lambo, thank you so much for drilling that 50-plus yard field goal, one of several things that went against me that day. So I like to play reverse Eliminator.
Yeah, you reverse engineer the Eliminator.
I pick losers.
Okay.
That's what I do. I pick losers.
So?
And last week I told you I was going to pick a loser. I picked the Panthers. They're losers.
You got it right.
At least for the week. I like
you got it right.
And
you got it right.
Have a nice
you got it right. Who is a loser this week?
The Washington football team. As you noticed me catching
myself
yes. right before I was about to say the Washington.
That football squadron over there in D.C.
The football team. The organization of Washington football players.
They can run. They can pass. They can tackle. They can kick.
Cleveland's got 10 days of rest. That's really all the analysis I've got. Because I looked to get a little bit creative with this one. There were some other obvious ones out there. I could have picked the Jets to upset the Colts, but we both know it's not going to happen. No. So, yeah. And I also think the Giants upsetting the 49ers. File that one away. But that's where we're going. I am going to take the Washington Football Club of Professional Football Players. To take the L. The L. Which takes us to something where I didn't want to have to show you this. You weren't here Monday. You weren't feeling well. This is going to make you feel poor every week, like literally poor and figuratively. Every week, Thursday, here on Bet, we have the Parlay to Paradise. Tyler picks his 4 favorite games. I pick my 4 favorite games, and then we bring in a celebrity guest to make the 9th pick. $50 could take us to paradise, or at least put a few grand in our pocket so we go somewhere nice.
Yeah.
Probably not Bali or the Maldives, but maybe somewhere nice in Mexico.
I don't know. This week we got some action on Bali or the Maldives.
I got to recap what happened last week first. You're so quick to try to get past it. Look at this. This was an absolute disaster. So we made fun of Doug Kazarian, the gentleman who hosts Daily Wager, the fine program. He took the Niner money line. Boo. But it won. You also had a winner, the Atlanta-Dallas over. And then you lost the rest.
Yeah.
And the best pick I made was a game that was canceled. The Houston Cougars and Baylor Bears. On like Friday, the game was canceled. That was my best pick, is a game that didn't
How
happen.
would our parlay have shaken out if we had cashed everything but that Houston-Baylor game get canceled?
We probably wouldn't be talking today. Oh, no, we would have just lost. If they just knocked that off and it becomes an 18 parlay, and we probably would have made somewhere around.
Week 1 behind us, and again, we're trying to go for
going
broke here. We're not giving our best bets in this. We're giving ones that are going to make us a lot of money. And of course, a parlay, you got to hit them all. So let's have some fun.
All right, so it's like baseball. We don't need to hit a home run every time. We just need to hit 100. We need one.
Right.
Give me your 4 picks. What are
Okay,
you thinking?
one thing I'm going to do to make our odds longer and to increase the value of our purse
Like
if
where
we
this is
win
going.
is always pick a money line underdog.
Okay.
And the money line underdog I'm picking for this week's Parlay to Paradise in the NFL is Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers plus 150 down in New Orleans against Drew Brees' noodle arm. Maybe no Michael Thomas. So that's what's going to juice the value of our parlay.
I like
have
it.
Arizona and Kyler Murray covering 2 field goals against Detroit. I have the Indy-New York Jets game going under 44.5 because I can't imagine the Jets supplying more than 6 to 10 points to that total. And I have Tennessee beating Minnesota on the road at US Bank where there will be no fans for Ryan Tannehill and the big dog Derrick Henry to deal with.
Okay, I like it. Some have tried to convince me that the Arizona game could be a trap. I'm not necessarily one of them.
I'm hearing that,
I've seen
but
Detroit's defense get gashed. Kyler Murray should have
good
some
luck,
fun.
Matt Patricia.
But who am
Kyler
I
Murray.
to pick apart anyone's picks after missing
Yeah, at least
all of
I
them
got
last
one
week?
right last week.
Here are Joe Fortenball's 4 picks for the Parlay to Paradise this week. Of course, I want to start in football, college football that is, with the Troy Trojans catching 14 at BYU. 19 days off for BYU, a bit of a COVID outbreak in Provo on campus, so they had to cancel last week's game against Army. Head coach of BYU, Kalani Sitake, it's such a beautiful name. It rolls off the lips. He's 7-10 against the spread as a home favorite. 13 starters are back for Troy. They looked very good last week in a 47-14 win over Middle Tennessee State. The Patriots over the Raiders. It's a short week for the Raiders. They won on Monday night. It was historic. Now they got to travel east. They got to play the early start time against the Bill Belichick, who is 51-26 against the spread, coming off a loss in his career.
I'm with that.
So
I
yeah,
think
we're going to lay the 6 right
the
there.
Raiders.
The Giants, big blue over the Niners. Niners are banged up everywhere.
Oh, gosh.
Kittle might play, but Sherman's out. Debo Samuel looks like he's out. You have injury. Nick Bosa's out.
Yep.
If you can't rush the passer with that front four, that secondary is going to be exposed. Don't be surprised if that's the biggest upset of the week.
And
final pick.
I don't like that San Francisco's been complaining about that MetLife turf. They were just
complaining
there
all
playing
week.
the Jets. Now
Yeah.
they go back next week to play the Giants.
All
Don't
week.
like that.
And then the final one, if we knock them all out of the park, and we got the celebrity pick coming up. We got Monday night over 54.
And
the America's
as
play.
red-blooded Americans,
Yes.
we are. I'm with you, Joe. I love your slate. I love your 4 legs to the Parlay to Paradise.
Now,
Who is our celeb?
Stanford Steve.
Oh,
The
okay,
most
Stanford
beautiful
Steve.
bald head you could possibly find is on this program. Not really. He made the pick. He's going to do us a favor, too.
Oh,
West Virginia on the money line
220.
at Oklahoma State, who stunk last week. Spencer Sanders got hurt in the first quarter. They donked off that game, barely got by Tulsa. Plus 220. Look at that. $50 plays 36,000.
See, now, there's the difference between what Doug Kazarian gave us last week as his guest pick, and it was what, minus 270 or minus 370, something like that? And we were only taking home like 20,000 or something. So now we're up almost to $40,000 on our $50 investment. Can we go to Bali or the Maldives for $36,919 and 72 cents?
We are not sharing an Overwater bungalow, my friend, but I think we can. $37K. You know what? I got to say it, though. We got to pay taxes on this thing.
Okay, just
Uncle
relax.
Sam's going to want to cut. Stanford Steve's going to want a piece of the action.
How about we do this
Can we
thing?
give the celebrity guest picker 1/9 of the proceeds? I don't.
How about we go to the Cayman Islands instead? Can we get
make
away?
that play.
Can we
It's
go
very
to the-
beautiful, very
can we,
colorful.
Yeah, we can go to the Cayman Islands and maybe we can find,
We'll bring
someplace
Stanford
to
Steve
put-
one of those shot glasses back. A nice yard.
Yes, I think you would enjoy that.
Stanford Steve, thanks so much for your help. How do you feel? What's your confidence level on this week? It's
feel good.
probably pretty
I feel
terrible.
good. You know, I
feel
feel
good,
I feel
huh?
good. I feel real good.
Up here, not down there.
Your voice is up. Yeah, I feel good. I feel good about
All right, so we're both on the Lakers tonight.
Both on the Lakers.
We are against each other when it comes to Thursday Night Football.
So
It's a
this is
roulette
on the
bet.
line.
Roulette bet.
I already got one over here.
What are you going to do with that? What number are you going to play? Do you know how you're going to play it?
Boy, that's a really good one.
You get to go downstairs and do it today if you want to do it. Or you could save it for another time.
Yeah,
It's up to you.
I'll probably save it, but 7 is my lucky number. I'm a standard lucky number 7.
So just
is
put it on
7 black.
Play the corner, play the side, play the top third, middle third, bottom
knows?
third. I played roulette a couple
But this
times.
is on the table for tonight's Thursday night matchup right here. He's got Fitzy Boy. I got Minshew Mania.
All right. All right.
Good luck to you,
That's
my
going to be
friend.
it. Good luck to you as well, sir. Thank you all for tuning in. We are going to be back on Monday to preview everything taking place Monday Night Football between the Chiefs and the Ravens. It should be a thriller. Obviously, the Ravens laying 3.5, 54. It's America's play. You bet the over. It's America's play.
Remoulade coming your way on Monday as well. Don't forget the crab cakes. You're gonna
Crab
know.
cakes.
You're gonna know what remoulade is all about. Enjoy the weekend, everyone.
Have
Win
a
some
great
bets.
night, everybody.